Hello again. I can't hold the plasma back any longer, Wingdivers. I wanted to talk a little bit about kiting with the Wingdiver. She's also pretty good at this as well as the fencer. What I mean by kiting is going up front for the group and just distracting the enemies while the people in the back can fire on a different target, or even the same target that you're fighting up front with. This is Demon Army, by the way, online. I'm playing with a friend, and well, the first thing that's important when you're kiting is you need to eliminate all drones, because at least the slow-moving drones, those will stun lock you in the air, whether you're a fencer or a Wingdiver. So it's very important to eliminate those, which is what we did anyway to start before we started attacking the hive here. But as far as weapons go, I'm always a big proponent of taking weapons that have low energy cost. Even if I'm not doing this kiting role, I much rather have a large magazine with low energy costs, such as her lasers or the rapier, or even the lance can be good too, rather than taking like an Idun or a thunderbow, because when you have to reload those, you're going to be in a lot of trouble, and energy management is very important. So pretty much what I did here was I just attacked the hive and to kill it, and then all the enemies come out. This is where you get a bunch of wasps, a bunch of golds, silvers, and everything like that. Like I said, the most important thing when you're doing this is energy management, and in general for Wingdivers, energy management. I'm always watching the energy management. So if you haven't seen the previous video I mentioned about with managing energy, is you always want to be flying in the air and then landing on the ground, and flying in the air and then landing on the ground just over and over again, so you can regain some energy. So by doing that, if you can get the right height in the air and then let go, you actually can gain one of those little notches on the right side of energy back, so you can constantly be in the positive. So I mean, obviously you're going to be reloading, so you're going to be losing energy more than you're gaining, but as long as you're just keeping an eye on the energy, always take opportunities where you can actually take a chance to just either land on the ground a little bit longer than normal to get just a little bit more energy and then fly back, or just get into like a safer place, like a building, behind a building or something. But what I'm doing here is I'm just taking this large group. It's very important to watch your mini-map when you're doing this. I'm trying to just get all the enemies into a large circle of red dots, and I'm just trying to lead them around in a circle. And that's the second point I like to make, is when you're trying to kite around enemies and corral them almost like in a circle, you want to go in the same direction. Like if you're going clockwise or counterclockwise, you want to stay in the same direction, especially if you have a lot of spiders, because the enemies are shooting in your last known position. So if you're moving in one direction in a circle, and then you decide to change directions, then you're actually going to be flying into the fire of the enemies, and you'll find very quickly that you'll actually take a lot of damage if you ever rotate directions, especially on higher difficulties where they shoot more. Or see, if there's a drone I saw right there, I'm going to take that out as priority number one, because if that thing hits me, I'm going to be stunned in air, and then the enemies can hit me a lot easier. And the second important thing is, it's always wise to take enemies into buildings if at all possible. So I'm using these buildings on the right side to my advantage, so that I can, because some of them will actually get caught in the buildings, or they'll try and crawl up the buildings, and that'll help survive a little bit longer, and just take some of the enemies away from me and slow them down. And of course, I'm always looking out for health. So you know, energy. I'm watching energy first, and then I'm going to watch obviously my health. And like, say there's a health kit in front of me, or you know, a health kit enemy drops like a big health kit, I'm not going to go for it right then. I'm going to just remember where I was at, or look for something on my path of flying first, rather than flying backwards, like I said, to fly into the enemy's attack. But that's the benefit of having all these enemies here. There's so many item drops that you're going to find health sooner or later. So we just took out the first hive, and see, he's in the back with the ranger, and that's where it's really beneficial if you have someone up front to kite, obviously I personally think Fencer is better to do this role because he doesn't have to worry about energy and he's faster. But like I said, Wingdiver is definitely also very good too. Very strong too because of the rapier. But now this is going to be the second phase. There's going to be a lot more enemies that come out. There's going to be some queens actually that come out here. But just the same idea. I'm going to immediately leave the area where they come out at and always focus the highest priority target. And this time actually it's not going to be golds that are the priority. It's actually the wasps. And that also goes for Fencer as well, because the wasps are actually what's going to hit you even when you're flying and doing like perfect flying pattern. You're still going to get hit by the wasps here and there, so it's always good to try and take them out first. But that's why I like the laser, because it has such a large magazine. I mean, it is weaker of course than the Idun, but I don't think you would be able to last as long making a circle if you had the Idun than if you had the laser. I think it's like 1/3 less damage, but I really like the laser personally. That's usually the two things I'll take is the rapier and a laser, or I'll take a lance and a laser. But yeah, so I'm just distracting all the enemies so that he can snipe the queen wasps from further away. But yeah, another thing you have to do is you have to be careful when you're actually flying backwards and attacking the enemies, because there's actually, I think, one time where I actually fly into a building, and that can pretty much ruin your run right there, because if you get stuck like in a window or in a doorway or something, then you can be in a lot of trouble and actually wind up dying. And of course with Fencer, if you're using him as a kiting, then you have to be careful with those destroyed buildings. Those things are so bad. I've lost so many runs to where you just get stuck in one of those little corner foundations like that on the ground there, that you just wind up dying because you get caught in there and you can't move. But now I'm going to finally do the last phase here, where there's just a bunch of golds that come out. I'm going to kill this middle hive here. If you're curious about the best way to do this mission, I made a couple mission videos on this mission. One with 2 rangers, and then one with just another tactic with other classes. But I just wanted to show, or just explain a little bit what I'm doing here with my weapons. And also, you want to keep an eye on your weapons. Like, see, like right now my energy is kind of low, and since I'm not in much threat right now, I should be thinking about ways to actually get my energy back. So I'm going to stop, pause a little bit longer there, just try and gain a little bit of energy here and there, so that when I do need it, I will have it. And of course, if you ever need to reload, always keep an eye on your energy. Maybe it's not worth reloading. Maybe you just need to just kite around a little bit longer, get some more energy back, and then reload, because you don't want to, of course, overheat through a reload when you can just, fly around and not fight. But see, I'm going to try and pull these guys over to the buildings here a little bit to make it a little easier, especially the golds, because they're pretty fast. See right there, that can be very dangerous if you get caught inside of a building. So that's the danger sometimes of just fighting where you're flying backwards. You kind of need to be aware of where you're at. But yeah, you can pretty much do this for a pretty long time, and then of course if you have someone helping you in the back, then it's always better that you're not the only one fighting. You could just focus on flying only. But yeah, I find this pretty fun. Just the battle of trying to stay alive and then also manage your energy. Like sometimes I won't even reload. Like if I'm really low on energy or if I'm in a dangerous spot, I'll just leave the magazine to where it's almost low and then reload later. Because like right there, it'd been unwise to reload my second weapon. If I did, I probably would have overheated or been close to it. But I'm trying not to ever be in the yellow if at all possible. But yeah, just pretty much like I said, stay in the same direction, circle around them, always watch the mini-map and try and keep them in one big group if possible. And then, because if you fly backwards only, if you just keep flying backwards, then as a Wingdiver you're not going to be faster than the enemy's fire, and they'll just shoot straight at you. Where if you're circling more with her, it's good, because you can dodge their fire as you're circling, and then it still attack. Like right there, the more I move backwards, the more the spires are going to hit me. So yeah, my energy's low, so I need to be careful here and try and focus just on energy and watch my magazine so I don't have to reload anytime. I really love this three-way laser though. I wish they made a higher level version of it, but unfortunately it's only used for hard, unfortunately, in the difficulty. But anyway, yeah, I just figured I'd share this. I mean, nothing special, just something that was fun, and I just wanted to capture in video and just talk a little bit about it. But yeah, I have more to come, and I appreciate you watching, and see you next time. Thanks.